Or is this full-time MMA now?
I love full-time MMA right now.
Back to the daily grind, and shout out to the full-time patrons. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back bagel biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full-time
MMA.
What a fight. Holy shit, full-time family. If you just missed Dustin Poirier versus Eddie Alvarez, you missed out. The Diamond Dustin Poirier just came in and earned a second round TKO over Eddie Alvarez. This was a fight that had a lot coming into it, man. The first fight ended in a no contest, and I'm not gonna lie, man, there's a heated rivalry here. I would not be surprised if we saw this fight one more time when all is said and done. I mean, if you remember how the first fight ended, Dustin Poirier looked good in the beginning of the fight, but things reversed whenever Eddie Alvarez was able to get Dustin Poirier against the fence and land a few big knees, and a couple of those happened to be illegal. So the fight was stopped. It was ruled a no contest, and after that, you know, Dustin Poirier, he stood up for Eddie Alvarez in the fight because the crowd was booing because of the illegal knees and whatnot in the stoppage. And Dustin Poirier was like, yo, don't boo this, man. We're both warriors. We come in here and put it on the line. And so he stood up for Eddie Alvarez, and after that, he wasn't able to get the rematch. He felt like he wanted the rematch since there wasn't any clarity to the first fight. But Eddie Alvarez got offered the opportunity to coach the Ultimate Fighter and fight Justin Gaethje, who had a lot of hype then, so he took the bigger opportunity. And Dustin Poirier was forced to go on a 2-fight winning streak with a win over former champion Anthony Pettis, and then he had to beat Justin Gaethje himself to finally get back to this rematch with Eddie Alvarez. Now, going into this fight, there was still a lot of heat. During and after the fight, these guys still don't like each other, it seems. Dustin Poirier took great offense to the fact that Eddie Alvarez was saying that he quit in the first fight. And if you just even watched, if you know who Dustin Poirier is as a fighter, and even if you didn't already know, just in his last 2 performances, I think it's safe to say Dustin Poirier would never fucking quit in that octagon. He just fought Justin Gaethje, was hitting him with some of the most lethal leg kicks you'll see in a fight. The wrecking ball Justin Gaethje, he was able to withstand that, show his heart, and still get the 3rd round TKO over Justin Gaethje. Then he was in a couple bad positions tonight versus Eddie Alvarez, withstood all of it, and was able to capitalize actually off of one of Eddie Alvarez's mistakes. And you know, Dustin Poirier could have took the low road. He could have stooped to Eddie Alvarez's level and tried to throw shade on his character. You know, whenever Eddie Alvarez was saying Dustin Poirier quit, you know, if Dustin Poirier wanted to, he could talk about Eddie Alvarez being a dirty fighter, and I'm not saying he is, but just off of how his last fights against Dustin Poirier have played out, there have been a couple dirty tactics. So if Dustin Poirier wanted to stoop to his level, he could say that, because in this fight, the referee had to warn Eddie Alvarez repeatedly whenever Dustin Poirier was in on a guillotine attempt. He jumped and was attempting to pull a guillotine. It looked like it might have been in, and he had Eddie Alvarez possibly in trouble with the guillotine choke. But Eddie Alvarez was holding on to the fence, and the referee was telling him, hey, let go of the fence, let go of the fence. And that was in the first round. And in the second round, Eddie Alvarez, I believe he scored a takedown against the fence, and he had Dustin Poirier mounted against the fence, but he threw a 12-6 elbow, but it came down on Dustin Poirier's shoulder, but the referee just saw the 12-6 elbow and stood up the fight. And he took the position away from Eddie Alvarez for throwing that 12-6 elbow. I mean, after the fight, we saw the elbow didn't hit his head, but still, he threw it 12-6, so he lost his position. And after they stood up is when Dustin Poirier started the combination that finished the fight. He started it with the straight left hand, and he just started to really put it on Eddie Alvarez against the fence, landed punches, kicks, and knees to drop Eddie Alvarez and finish the fight with about 55 seconds into the second round. So big win for the Diamond Dustin Poirier. He's looking for a title shot. He said he just beat 4 champions in a row. He beat Eddie Alvarez in the first fight. Well, he was looking great until the illegal knees. Then he beat Justin Gaethje, World Series of Fighting champion. Then he beat Anthony Pettis, former lightweight champion. Now he just put the icing on the cake against former champion Eddie Alvarez. So that's 4 champions in a row. He's looking for a title fight. But we all know this is the UFC's lightweight division, one of the most talent-packed and stacked divisions in the UFC, and it's log-jammed at the top a little bit right now with Conor McGregor and Khabib Nurmagomedov. So it's going to be hard to get a title shot until that fight plays out. And of course, you got to keep in mind Tony Ferguson, who was the UFC's interim champion before becoming injured, so he might also have something to say about Eddie Alvarez getting, about Dustin Poirier getting the next title shot. So we'll see what happens. Either way, it's a great time to be a UFC fan. This was a great night of fights. Jose Aldo looking great in the co-main event with that big body shot and first round KO of Jeremy Stephens. Joanna Jacek returning to her form with a big win over Tisha Torres, #1 contender in the strawweight division. And even Alex Hernandez looked great on the main card against Olivier Aubin-Mercier tonight. So, great night of fights. With that being said, it is what it is. Congratulations to the Diamond Dustin Poirier. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. And before we go, shout out to all the full-time MMA white belts that have hit the subscribe button. Make sure you also hit the bell right next to it so you get notified every time we upload a new video. This is the hardest working MMA channel on YouTube. We provide daily updates. We do predictions, betting advice, songs, fantasy fights. We create all different types of MMA related content on a daily basis. We've also interviewed Aljamain Sterling, Sean O'Malley, Bruce Lutch-Medio, and Felony Charles Bennett, all in just 1 year as an MMA channel. We're still small, but we're definitely one of the fastest growing on YouTube. So with that being said, if you want to see even more videos like this, make sure you check out the Full-Time MMA Dojo over on patreon.com. There's more free videos over here, and you can also learn more about where this channel came from and see the goals of this channel as we continue to grow. So with that being said, whether you're a long-time subscriber or just a new person watching this video, I appreciate it. And we recently just got approved as an Onnit affiliate, so we got what you need. Whether you're trying to think clearer, work out harder, or sleep better, check the links in the description for a 100% free trial of Alpha Brain, Shroom Tech Sport, or New Mood. I'm telling you, we got what you need. Links are in the description. See you on the next video.
Da 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 da! It's the motherfucking DOG.